Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I have for you a tank of a watch, a Pershing tank of a watch. That watch is the RGMT Pershing Automatic, this being the Camo Green. This watch was sent to me by RGMT to present, and I want to thank them for sponsoring this video. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. RGMT is dropping a new watch very soon, and you don't want to miss it. But today, I'm here to talk about the Pershing, and let's attack what I'm sure you all want to know, the size. This watch is a massive tactical piece, fitting for something named after the M26 Pershing tank. Can you actually daily drive a 50mm square watch with 300 meters of water resistance and a Japanese automatic movement? The specs are undeniably heavy duty, and at 14mm thick, the case is too. I'm going to show you exactly how this 300-meter tank wears on a 7.5-inch wrist, run it on the Timegrapher, test and decide if it's worth the price tag. This is now my fourth RGMT, and the packaging is all the same. You get a printed cardboard outer box. Inside, you get the customary carbon fiber look travel case. And this is a pretty nice travel case for travel because you can hold the watch in addition to some accessories that you might want to add to it. In that pocket, you have your customary plastic card with the QR code where you can get your warranty information, manual, and everything else. Make sure you register the watch as well for that warranty. Let's jump into the dimensions and specs. RGMT states it's a 50mm watch. The dial and the inner rotating bezel add up to about 37mm. So it's extremely easy to read. No matter how you want to look at it, this is an enormous watch. But here's the thing, it's only 136 grams and 53mm across thanks to that dead drop of the strap. Here I have everyone's favorite, the Steel Dive SD 1953. This is a 41mm watch. However, with this watch, with its male end links, this stretches out at 53mm, just like the RGMT. Here is an inexpensive polycarbonate watch. It weighs about 1/3 the weight of the Pershing. It has a 40mm case. However, it has an integrated bracelet, and if you know anything about integrated bracelets, you know how they can wear. You want to care to guess just how wide this watch stretches across the arms before it starts to articulate? Let's take a look. So this here is going to stretch out across your wrist at about 50, almost 59mm. The Pershing dominates when it comes to size. When it comes to wearability, however, it can wear as small or even smaller than a 40mm watch. This is me comparing 3 different watches. There's no AI or sorcery going on here. It's just wild. Even with a 7.5-inch wrist and one who favors large watches, I did not expect this watch to work for me, but it does. It fits. And before I move on, I should probably verify with you the width of this watch, the lug-to-lug, as I specified before. I said it was about 53mm, and you can see here it is just under 53mm, just as the straps drop off the lug ends. Now the case is mostly all brushed 316L stainless steel. You have some very slight chamfering here and there to knock down the edges and give a little sparkle when the light catches it. The edge of the outer bezel is also polished, with the top being brushed as it combines with the slightly domed sapphire crystal with an AR coating. All of this looks and works well because you don't want this big surface reflecting back into your face. 2 crowns at opposite ends, a signed steel crown at the 3 o'clock to control the movement, and an orange crown at 9 o'clock to manipulate the inner rotating bezel. What I love about RGMT watches is that their dials always give you depth. The way the inner rotating bezel slopes into the dial. The markers are printed and lumed. The pale yellow minute ring is a nice contrast. These colors go very well together. All of the indices on the dial are applied and filled with lume. I also like how they split the numbers 0, 3, and 9. The ends of the indices are marked in the 24-hour time. It's cool, I guess, but no way I'm seeing them without magnification, so they may as well not even be there. RGMT is great at applying textures to their dials, and this is no different. I think the green texture looks great here. The date window is framed and at 6 o'clock, balancing out the dial nicely. There's a fellow YouTuber out there called Big Risk Syndicate. Go check out his channel when you have a minute. He'll talk about in his video that if you're going to have a date window, it's got to be at 6 o'clock for symmetry. But he says it in his own very colorful, good old boy way. 3 o'clock sucks, just like his ex. 4:30 is even worse. And I must agree, about the date, not his ex. Never met her. He'll also lose it sometimes when there's a dual crown watch with both crowns on the same side. He'd like to see crowns on opposite sides for, you guessed it, symmetry. Well, Joey, this watch then is tailor-made for you. The hands are almost the same hands used in the Zumwalt diver. And I have the Zumwalt right here, along with one of my favorite RGMT watches, the maroon red Recon diver. I have them here side by side because I'm curious to see how the Pershing performs in the Lume department compared to its stablemates. I don't know if the green tint of the indices will help or hurt it. So I'll kill the lights, speed up the video, and let's check it out. Well, you saw what I saw. When the lights go out, the Pershing is by far the smallest of the bunch. I should have expected that, but I didn't. The dial and hands look good, but the bezel is a disappointment. When I shine a UV light, you could see how the lume is just poorly applied. Given how the lume of this watch is heavily emphasized on their website, I highly doubt that they're all like this. This is probably just a sample size of one, but it still should have been picked up by quality control. If I had purchased this watch, I would be sending this back for a replacement. The strap is thick and a sturdy stitched leather. It is a little stiff and firm, but it's going to break in nicely. The signed buckle is going to be large, given it's a 24mm strap, and there's plenty of spots to find that perfect wrist size. As I showed earlier, just because you have a smaller wrist than myself doesn't mean you can't get away with a watch like this. Besides, you should always wear what makes you happy. Flipping it over to the back, you can see we have an exhibition style case back with a mineral crystal. What I think we're looking at here, however, is a Miyota 8215 movement. RGMT doesn't specify the movement itself, it just says that it's a 3-hand Japanese automatic, but it certainly performs and looks like an 8215 movement to me. I also like having a decorated rotor like you see here, versus like on my Recon diver, what they did was they basically just decorated the glass. Having a decorated rotor, in my opinion, is an improvement. On the Timegrapher, you can see the results, well within the specs. Bottom line, it's a robust, reliable engine that fits the aggressive military aesthetic RGMT is going for. So how does this 50mm square tank actually wear? Here is the Pershing on my 7.5-inch wrist. Make no mistake, this watch commands attention. The square case gives it a massive footprint, but the short lugs help keep it from overhanging too drastically. The 24mm brown genuine leather strap is thick right out of the box, but it balances the weight and complements that Camo Green dial perfectly. On a 7.5-inch wrist like mine, it feels exactly how a tactical military watch should. Rugged, substantial, and ready for anything. On a 7-inch wrist or smaller, you be the judge. So let's get down to the price and final verdict of this watch. At its regular price of $300, it is a solid piece of gear. But at its current sale price of around $209, the value proposition makes a lot more sense. You are getting a reliable Japanese automatic movement, a sapphire crystal, a highly unique inner rotating bezel, 300 meters of water resistance, and it's an absolute bruiser of a watch that delivers on its specs and symmetry. Where it failed to deliver, though, is on the lume of the bezel. If you want to add the Pershing to your rotation, I've got a link down in the description below. Also, if you're a fan of the brand or just picking one of these up for the first time, be sure to join the RGMT Watch Fans group I started over on Facebook. I'd love to see your wrist shots and hear what you think of this beast. Thank you very much for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this review. Subscribe for more watch content, and definitely hit that notification to know my next RGMT video. It'll drop soon, and thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video.